that we don't fully understand at this point. And so there are very large areas of research yet that we can explore to really tap the potential of this material.
Now, earlier, Steve Gaddis said that they are working for a high reward from high risk. What is the reward you're looking for from carbon nanotube composites?
When we first started looking at carbon nanotubes, the reason we're looking at it is because there's high potential for this material to be a disruptive technology. And the reason is it is multiple times stronger and stiffer than carbon fiber. What we're trying to do now is
Coming up on OU Nightly, the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority presses pause on a controversial expansion, what one local lawmaker is saying, plus police need your help in a vandalism case. The details ahead.
And warmer temperatures today lead to an enhanced risk for fire danger tomorrow, plus severe weather chances. We're tracking the latest. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Cameron Joyner.
And I'm Dana Searles. We begin tonight with the proposed turnpike through eastern Cleveland County has been placed on pause, giving residents in the area some relief.
Norman Senator Mary Boren held a press conference this afternoon addressing how she plans to continue to fight that turnpike.
OU Nightly's Jaden Brannon was there and has more for us live. Jaden?
That's right. Organizations such as Pike Off OTA and No More Turnpikes are fresh off of a victory, and Senator Mary Boren is continuing to apply pressure to the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority to help ensure that a proposed turnpike running through eastern Cleveland County will be gone for good.
Oklahoma Turnpike Authority proposed a turnpike extension 2 years ago that would cut through eastern Cleveland County. But for now, rural Norman will stay the same. Norman Senator Mary Boren thinks the turnpike is not economically viable and wants to make sure the now dead proposed turnpike will stay 6 feet underground.
We can't allow a state agency to claim financial stability when there is a significant history questioning that financial stability.
Senator Boren even brought several constituents who have been investigating the proposed turnpike and OTA's financial habits. Normanite Randy Carter has looked into the OTA's previous projections of turnpikes and what revenue they have actually generated.
We've seen a figure that stated that their projections throughout the history of the Turnpike Authority have only been 63% accurate. Now, when I was in school, 63 was an F.
Senator Boren and her constituents want to hold OTA accountable for their decisions and poor financial management.
Now, this area of Cleveland County is going to remain quiet for the foreseeable future, and Senator Mary Boren and her constituents will continue to fight for it to remain that way. Reporting live in eastern Cleveland County, I'm Jaden Brannon, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Jaden. And breaking here at this hour, the Oklahoma Sheriff's Association says they have suspended multiple McCurtain County officials, including the sheriff. This comes a day after the graphic recordings were received.
Idabel police say evacuations are underway at Memorial Hospital due to a report of a bomb threat. Officers say they have not found evidence of a bomb, but are doing this out of precaution.
Plus, McCurtain County officials are hit with a defamation lawsuit after a graphic recording is released of them discussing killing a county reporter.
OU Nightly obtained the court documents. In those lawsuits, McCurtain County Gazette reporter Chris Willingham details the events that led to the secret recording, including his investigations into the sheriff's office.
Willingham's attorney says for that the family suffered intimidation and harassment for a year because of their efforts. The McCurtain County Sheriff's Office says the recording was illegal and altered.
New video released from the Oklahoma City Police from the art museum robbery earlier this month. The video you're seeing now shows two criminals wreaking havoc, causing a path of damage, breaking windows and destroying multiple computers. Oklahoma City Police are asking for any information regarding the robbery to be reported directly to the Crime Stoppers hotline you see out there on the screen.
And $70,000 are available for families impacted by the tornadoes that came through Norman on February 26th. The money is coming from the Norman Board of Realtors, and the board can distribute up to $1,000 to help cover hotel costs, rent, or mortgage payments to families. Those impacted by the tornadoes who are interested in receiving a grant can contact the Norman Board.
And it's finally starting to feel like spring here in Oklahoma.
It definitely is. OU Nightly meteorologist Colton Williams is live on the South Oval in that beautiful weather out there. Colton, what's it looking like?
That's right, ladies. It is absolutely beautiful out here. We've had sunshine throughout the day today. Now we've had some cloud cover build in, bringing us some shade, and that's keeping us down into the middle 70s. So overall, feeling like a beautiful spring day. Taking a look at our temperature statewide, mid 70s here in central Oklahoma, mid to upper 80s in far western Oklahoma. Check out the Oklahoma Panhandle, a couple of 90s. Yeah, it's only mid-April. And as we talk into this evening, we'll see a dry line on its way through, and that's going to create the risk for some fire danger, especially combined with those winds, which are gusting 25 to 30, some places even 40 miles per hour. That's going to ramp up the fire danger just a little bit, all right? So coming up, we're going to have those details. Kathleen Liberta is going to break down that fire danger, plus your next storm system that's coming up in just a few minutes. For now, Cameron and Dana, back to you.
Thanks, Colton. And the man accused of shooting a black teenager turns himself in today. OU Nightly's Ireland Fitzer joins us with an update out of Missouri and other national headlines from the News Center.
84-year-old Andrew Lester turned himself in today. He's charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. Kansas City teen Ralph Yarl out of the hospital but recovering at home from 2 gunshots. Police say Yarl rang the wrong doorbell trying to pick up his twin brothers. That's when he was shot in the head and the arm. And in the same week, another young adult shot after pulling into the wrong driveway. This one out of New York, Kaylin Gillis and 3 others pulled up looking for a friend's house. 65-year-old Kevin Monahan allegedly fired 2 shots off his porch, killing Gillis. Monahan is charged with second-degree murder. And in Iowa, 2 teens pled guilty for killing their Spanish teacher in 2021. Court documents say that one of the students was upset about a bad grade he had received. The teacher's body was found in the park, hidden under a tarp, wheelbarrow, and railroad ties. Prosecutors say the teacher was beaten with a baseball bat. And in other news, Southwest Airlines delays hundreds of flights due to a technical issue. The airlines say they should be up and operating normal now. Cameron, Dana.
Thanks, Ireland. Now, this is a hot button issue. The TikTok ban, while stalled in D.C., may be moving forward up north.
We'll tell you what the next steps for the Montana legislature are coming up.
And a photographer who was covering the war in Ukraine is being honored in a familiar place.
That's right. We'll tell you where that is and how he's being honored coming up.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather for Campus Weather Authority.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Marginalized groups now concerned about a recent update to a popular app's policy. OU Nightly's Kaylee Jo Hommel joins us in the studio with the story and others in today's Science and Technology.
In Twitter's recent update, the social media platform removed a policy regarding dead naming. The rule prohibits using a transgender person's name before they transitioned and the wrong gender for someone as a form of harassment. GLAAD, a nonprofit supporting the LGBTQ community, says this decision is unsafe for Twitter's users. In Montana, a bill banning TikTok is on its way to the desk of the governor. Recently, state lawmakers passed legislation blocking TikTok within state lines, the first U.S. state to do this. The proposed law would hold app stores accountable with potential penalties of $10,000 per violation per day. If signed into law, the ban would begin in January. And in space, scientists are planning to launch the most powerful rocket ever made. The SpaceX launch was scheduled for takeoff yesterday, but was called off due to a technical issue with the booster. A rehearsal launch was conducted instead. SpaceX says it plans to fly the massive Starship from South Texas to the Gulf of Mexico by at least Thursday. In Cameron, Dana, Netflix is facing backlash after a delay to the live stream reunion for its hit show, Love is Blind. This is the streaming giant's second live stream show in history.
Thanks, Kaylee. And with the Russian invasion into Ukraine more than a year ago, an exhibit showcasing the events has been brought to OU for students to see right here in Gaylord College.
So this exhibit represents probably first 6 months of the invasion of Russia into Ukraine, and we thought that this is important to show because it's important to keep the world's attention on what is going on in Ukraine. It's really tempting to be a victim in this situation, but I decided that I'm not gonna be that, so I want to move forward with things I was planning for myself. I want to move forward with my dissertation. I want to move forward with the NGO work I do back with my colleagues in Ukraine. And this is probably what I'm trying to focus right now, not to give up and keep going and doing things like this exhibit. It's more that when you're reading the news, you can see it just statistics, just numbers, and you don't see the actual human stories, what is going on behind those statistics. And you can see, a line around 1,000 civilians were killed in Bucha, but Bucha is a small suburb of Kyiv. It's a significant part of the local community who just, were killed by Russian soldiers, and that's a huge loss. This is what I would want audiences abroad to understand, that this is not just numbers, this is people. This is human stories, and there is a lot of pain behind those numbers.
The exhibit is open to all students on campus located in Gaylord College Hall of Fame room.
And a highly anticipated event here in Oklahoma is moving to a new location.
We'll tell you where and why they're moving there coming up.
Dry conditions bring a fire risk, but that could change.
OU Nightly meteorologist Kathleen Liberta is in the studio to tell us what we could expect.
That's right. Campus is looking beautiful, but those warmer temperatures bring along a risk for fire weather. I'll tell you what parts of the state are under that risk coming up right after this.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather for Campus Weather Authority.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. We have had a very warm April. Here's our temperature trend for April. Only 4 days have been below average, and we can add today to our list of days above average because temperatures are beautiful right now. We are seeing temperatures almost in the 80s here in Norman. Humidity sitting at 54%, so it's still pretty humid out right now. Current temperatures across the metro seeing the 70s and 80s for most of us here in that OKC metro. But if you look down south of I-35, you can see that the Ardmore area is sitting a lot cooler than us. That's because of this cloud cover that's been creeping up into central Oklahoma over the last couple of hours. There's that cloud cover that's keeping them a bit cooler. Now, dew points right now, like I said, it's pretty humid out right now. Here's that dry line that's going to be creeping into the state tomorrow, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. Now, wind gusts right now, some places seeing gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So those drier conditions combined with wind gusts brings an elevated risk of fire danger. You can see western parts of Oklahoma sitting in that red flag warning until 9 p.m. tonight. Fire weather watch out in the eastern parts of the Texas Panhandle. Now our fire danger forecast as we head into tomorrow. We're going to be pretty humid for most of the day, but then tomorrow evening, here's that dry line I was talking about. Look at the difference. 65% humidity down to 3% up in Woodward. So it's going to be very, very dry out on the Panhandle tomorrow, and that's what's going to cause that critical risk for fire danger tomorrow as well. So looking at our future wind gusts, we can see it's going to be very windy as we head throughout the day tomorrow, but then right after that dry line comes through, we've got a cold front that's going to switch up our winds. They're going to come from the north, and along with that, we do have a chance for severe weather. Here's the severe weather outlook from the SPC. It has the western part of Oklahoma sitting in that slight risk for severe weather. Western parts of Oklahoma City, Enid, Lawton, all included in that slight risk. So what are we talking about with these storms? We do have a chance for tornadoes. The biggest risk is going to be up in Kansas. There is a chance for that damaging wind plus some damaging hail as well if those storms start to fire up. Now, looking at tonight, we are going to be beautiful as we head into this evening. Temperatures dropping down into the 60s, and looking at your 7-day forecast, this weekend's going to be beautiful after that cold front comes through, and then we are going to jump back up into the 70s as we head into next week. So it's going to be a beautiful weekend for us as we head into this weekend. Temperatures sitting in the 60s. So I know Saturday is that OU spring game, so it looks like it's going to be beautiful.
Absolutely. I'm hoping I can make it out there for it. I'm not quite sure yet. What about you, Dana?
I'll definitely be out at that spring game this weekend. I'm so excited for these nice temperatures. I feel like the last few days have just been so warm, little humid, so the hair's a little bit crazy, but that's okay.
That's why the hair's a little flat today, just a little flat.
Exactly.
I know, you were in there doing yours. Yours looks beautiful.
Oh,
you haven't gone outside in it yet.
Exactly.
All right, now since there is a chance for High winds and possible rain. The remembrance ceremony for the Murrah Federal Building bombing has been moved inside tomorrow. There will be a performance by the Oklahoma City Philharmonic, and admissions for the museum are free all day tomorrow.
And speaking of Sooner sports, the Sooner softball stars continue to make a name for themselves.
Zoe Watson is here to tell us about this year's softball draft and more in sports.
Thanks, Cameron. I'll tell you what players were drafted and to where, and we will show you the new scoring system for the football spring game. I'll have more in sports.
Prepared as your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane. You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hello, I'm Zoe Watson, and it's time for sports. 3 OU softball players hit home runs in the 2023 Women's Professional Fast Pitch Draft. Alex Duraco was the #1 pick to the Oklahoma City Spark, joining former OU softball legend Jocelyn Alo. Haley Lee joins Duraco with the Spark as the first pick in the 4th round. And Grace Lyons was selected by first-year organization Texas Smoke as the 2nd pick in the 6th round. OU baseball heads to Cowboy Country for the first Bedlam matchup of the season. The Sooners and the Pokes have met 311 times. OSU leads the series 175-146, and the first pitch is set for 6 p.m. The Oklahoma football team continues to gear up for this Saturday's spring game. Loyola Dubai head coach Brent Venables, he likes how the players have hustled this spring.
We've really appreciated guys having the right mindset, showing up with the mindset of improving, getting better, between meetings and walkthroughs and the actual on-the-field play. Whatever it is, whatever percentage it is, we're further along.
The football team just announced there is a new addition to the spring game scoring system. Offensive scores will be the same, but Brent Venables introduced defensive scoring this year. You can see here how many points each accomplishment is worth, like a sack is worth 3 points. And 5th-year senior Jaden Davis opened each of the last 3 seasons as starting cornerback. Davis announced on Twitter Monday that he's entering the NCAA transfer portal. Davis's decision comes 2 days after the spring portal period opened. And there will be a new phase for Oklahoma soccer soon. OU announced Monday that the soccer team will undergo a head coach change. Former head coach Mark Carr was hired in January of 2020 and led the Sooners to 18-31-6 record over 3 seasons. And there is still no announcement on who will be the next head coach. Dan and Cameron, back to you.
Thanks, Zoe. And spring is in full bloom, and your walk to class might just get that much prettier.
Absolutely. We'll tell you why that is coming up.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
A popular site is back on OU's campus, and just in time for the spring. The flowers all across the South Oval are back in bloom and looking absolutely beautiful.
Yes, Dana, I know so many students and staff get really excited to see these come back and brighten up their walks around campus. So make sure you get out and enjoy those petunias out on the South Oval. I know they're gonna bloom absolutely beautifully. I love seeing that. It just makes it so much more fun to get out and walk to class.
Those are definitely my favorite part of campus, but I was so sad they weren't planted before my senior pictures. So I might have to go out there and take some pictures in front of them.
Absolutely.
And with that beautiful flowers getting planted, the weather is getting much nicer.
Let's check in one last time with meteorologist Catherine Liberta for the rest of this week's forecast.
That's right. We do have a conditional risk for severe weather tomorrow. So hopefully those flowers out on the South Oval will be okay, because if storms fire up, they will be west of us here in Norman. Western parts of Oklahoma City are in that risk for severe weather tomorrow. But that's all going to clear up as we head into Saturday for the OU spring game, a 2:30 p.m. kickoff. And it's looking like it's going to be beautiful. Temperatures are going to jump up into the 60s. It's going to be beautiful by kickoff, halftime, fourth quarter. It's going to be amazing. So get out there and enjoy it. And then looking at the rest of your week, it's going to be beautiful as we head into this weekend. Like I said, temperatures in the 60s for this weekend. 38 though, that low Saturday night. So the western parts of Oklahoma could see their last freeze for this during this weekend. And then temperatures are going to jump up into the 70s as we head into next week. Ladies.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Cameron Joyner.
And I'm Dana Searles. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Prepared as your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood,